Just a quick disclaimer. This is not a full comprehensive list of every patrol and or assault pack used by the U.S. military. Everything you will see and hear is simply my observations, experiences, and opinions. I am only using what I have available to me as my references. This by no means makes me an expert on the subject matter. Your own personal observations, experiences, and opinions may differ. Okay, what we are discussing today is some different examples of typical U.S. military patrol packs and assault packs. These particular packs are from my collection that I have acquired over the years. I'd like to take this time to dive into each one of these packs to see what quirks and features they possess and how they compare to each other. Let's get started. All right, let's start. We got the Combat Patrol Pack here. This goes with the IIFS system or the CFP-90. This has an NSN of 8465-01-287-8128. Now, there is a caveat to that, and we'll get to that in just a second. But let's start looking at these externals here. So we have M81 color, got a US stamp on there. As far as the straps go, you can see that these are permanently attached. There is no way to adjust those width-wise at all. The only adjustment on these are going to be up at your top and bottom to adjust the overall length. You can see there's no sternum strap, no waist strap. We got a single antenna port up at the top here. That's just your hook and loop flap. So we got these barrel locks on the side. That's so if you wanted to, that runs up this whole side here, so you could cinch this down, really draw it tight, decrease the overall size of it, because if you can see, it's literally just looks like a flap that they just stitched some straps and some pockets on, and that's the basic concept of it. We got female Fastex buckles up here and on the bottom, and that is for your attaching to the main rucksack. We got, let's see, some Alice style webbing on the side of the front pocket here, so you can attach old Alice stuff or use an adapter, obviously. And we have that same style on the bottom of this pack. Okay, and so then this front pocket here, you can see that's secured with two Fastex buckles, and then that's got a barrel lock drawstring to keep that cinched up. And this is literally just a simple pocket. There's not much going on in there. Notice also there is no drain grommet for that pocket, and I don't see one underneath the webbing at the bottom either. So these, if you go trudging through some water and she fills up from the top, it's going to be a slow drain to empty this one out. There's no drain grommets on there. And now for the main pocket, you can see this is secured with a YKK zipper, and it's got these flaps that kind of tuck in under, keep that secured. This is going to be, let's see if I can get some light. You can see inside there we've got some straps in there, most likely for radio equipment. And then this is just the back side of the main pocket, and that has, very hard to see, but you can see that foam padding in there, kind of just a little bit extra comfort, so if you got a radio in there, it's not digging into your back. Let's see, so this is the caveat we talked about earlier. that NSN is not the one that I listed earlier, because I listed 84650128788128. That obviously does not match this one. And what's interesting about that number, let me go grab what else uses this number. So part of that sidetrack, here we are, we got the big main rucksack, the CFP90 rucksack. Open this up, check out this one's numbers. Isn't that interesting? 84650128653356. The same that's listed on this little combat bag. So I don't know if that was something Specialty Defense did or what, but they clearly named these two under the same NSN. So there you go. That's a caveat on some of these bags. And one last point before we move on to the next pack, is I want to show the date this was built. This seems like a very late build on this bag. If I look real close, you see that date wheel? See how it says 05 in there? And the contract number on the tag inside was for 04. So it's very interesting that they would contract these so late when obviously all the MOLLE and MOLLE 2 stuff has already been phased in and out. So I have no idea why they are still building these types of bags, but they clearly have some sort of demand for them. All right, let's move on to the next pack. This is the MOLLE Patrol Pack, the first generation MOLLE Patrol Pack. So this has an NSN of 846501465288. So here on this, you can see it's got a little bit of a different color M81. This is typical of most of the first generation MOLLE stuff I have found. It just has sort of a, I don't know, this, what's normally a tan looking has like an extra green tint added to it. And I'll do a comparison to another regular M81 pack just to show you the contrast, but this, you can barely see it, but there is what's left of a US stamp on this one here. Okay, let's check out these straps here. With these straps, you can see that they are permanently attached at the bottom, but that is obviously through a Fastex buckle, so you can doff these. We got a sternum strap, and that's adjustable. These go up and down. You can adjust the straps up here for some length as well. And also they now have, you can see the rings, so you can adjust the width at the top of the pack straps. And these aren't too bad. They've got some decent padding in them. It's obviously the same on this one over here. This was kind of a neat little bonus that was in this pack when I bought it. Just a little inventory card they had stuck in the pouch here, and obviously that's an ID tag pouch that you would put something in there if you needed for identification or otherwise. Now with these, you can see the top, it's got just single male Fastex up there, and then non-adjustable length female at the bottom. Another interesting thing about these is, you look, there's no antenna or hydration port on this. These first generation MOLLE ones did not have those ports on the top. You can see here the carry handle. It's just a single piece of webbing stitched into where these male Fastex are. I've got some almost pointless webbing up here. There's not much gap there, so you can't really attach MOLLE wise to that. On the sides, you can see we've got attachment points there on the main pocket and then 2 on the side of the front pocket. Speaking of the front pocket, so this has got 2 Fastex buckles adjustable to hold that flap down, and then it has your barrel lock cinch strap. Inside here, it's just a basic pocket, but we have these male snap buttons here, and that is for if you were to put the bandolier in, which we have an example right here. You put the 6 magazine bandolier, it snaps right in on that. So kind of a nice option if you have the bandolier or if you have a use for it. Let's show that tag real quick. Yeah, this is the one. But anyways, that's kind of a nice feature of that front pocket. So now I'm going to unzip the main pocket so we can dig into that one. All right, the main pouch, secured by YKK zipper again. You can see it's just a big basic pouch. It does have rings inside of it so that you could secure radio if you need. And then this pouch back here is where the tag is hidden, and there you can see the 97 dated contract, NSN, and obviously that it's a first generation MOLLE patrol pack. And that has foam inside of it for padding. Same on this one, just foam, padding, and there's the tag on this one as well. And one final note before we move on, both pockets now come equipped with drain grommets. All right, let's move on to the next pack. These are MOLLE 2 patrol packs. And these have the same NSN number as the previous first generation MOLLE patrol pack, which is 846501 4652088. You can see with these, we've got your typical M81 camouflage. This one has a US stamp on the outside still, whereas if there was one on these, maybe there's a faint one right, maybe that's the S. These ones are pretty worn out, but take a look at the straps on these. You can see it's a similar setup where we got the rings to adjust the width. We got sternum strap adjustable. We got Fastex for doffing, and we got permanently attached there. But you will notice that now the ID card window, it's not up here anymore. It's got moved down to the bottom of the back. It's of course the same on all 3 of these. Now let's take a look at the top. See these straps here? Now we've got both the male and female, and it's adjustable. So you can use this to attach to the rucksack, or you could use them together like this if you were going solo with the patrol pack. Put like your poncho in there, or maybe something like a smaller bedroll, or you know, a little bit more versatility having both the male and female on this end. And then at the bottom it is just the female Fastex for attaching to the ruck. Now you can see we've got port on both the left and right hand side for antenna or hydration. It's the same thing, it's just a hook and loop flap with a hole in it. Your carry handle is way nicer. It's a wider piece of webbing that's been folded over and stitched, so it doesn't dig into your hand like the normal 1-inch webbing does. Sturdier I should say, and a lot nicer. You got the same basically pointless webbing there up above the front pocket. We've got webbing there on the side of the main pocket up there by the zipper. We now have 3 pieces of webbing on the front pocket. And we do have webbing on the bottom of the bag as well, drain grommets. This front pocket here, set up pretty much the same. Fast-X barrel lock, has the snaps in it for putting in your bandolier magazine holders. All right, for the main pocket, same thing. We've got YKK zipper for securing it. Main pocket, same setup. We've got the rings. And then now this is a difference here. You can already see that this has the plastic stiffener and the foam. And we've got jump straps. So that's a pretty big difference there between the MOLLE 1 and 2. Here's our tag, NSN, the 03 contract date, and MOLLE 2, obviously. So, grab the MOLLE 1 now and compare them directly. Okay, so we've got first gen MOLLE and the MOLLE 2. You can kind of see, hopefully the camera picks it up, but the contrast between this tan and how this one has such a almost green hue to it. So that's, again, that's just typical of first generation MOLLE stuff that you'll find, but getting some obvious points of interest here is they gained the 1 piece of webbing on the front pocket there. At the top here, obviously, the carry handles changed. These rucksack securements changed. We got hydration antenna ports where it wasn't even present on the MOLLE 1. Your ID card window difference. So they're similar, but they definitely have their differences. So let's move on to the next pack. Okay, these are, at least my tag says, large assault pack style 4095, 4095. I've also seen these referred to as MOLLE 2 assault packs with an actual NSN of 846501513483. You can see these are M81 color. We got nice US stamps on these. Partially helps just because these are newer packs that they probably either didn't get used as much or got never issued, like one of these bags I feel like is. Okay, so as far as externals go, we have these different style straps. Let's see here. They are permanently attached at the top. They're a lot wider, but they're also a lot thinner. So there's definitely less padding going on. But we have some webbing here that you can actually attach something to. We got sternum strap. Those are adjustable as usual. We've got the new quick release system on these instead of just Fast-X buckles. These, you yank this up fast and she'll doff right off you. Notice at the bottom they're attached by a D-ring instead of just being stitched in. So that's another difference. We also now have a dedicated waist strap for more secure when you're rucking along. We also now have this pouch here. And you can see it actually goes through all the back, but what that's for is you can release this part of the strap and you can tuck them in when this is secured to the main rucksack. So you got your ID card window up at the top here. Similar setup to the MOLLE 2 patrol pack where you've got 2 antenna hydration ports. Same setup for attaching to the ruck here or securing something else. Carry handles the same, folded over webbing stitched together. Now this webbing up here is one of the rare instances where it's actually usable. There's enough space there where you could actually secure something with the MOLLE attachment system. With the front pocket now, this is secured Fastex buckle wise, but now it actually has a zipper there, and you notice there's a new pocket. This is just hook and loop, of course, but that's just a basic pocket. There's nothing in there. If we continue on the outside, you'll see that the main pocket and the bigger front pocket, they obviously have drain grommets. Got webbing on the bottom for securing pouches to that. Now I'll get some stuff unzipped so we can look inside these. All right, and with the pockets unzipped now, you see on this front pocket, we've got a little pocket inside, secured by hook and loop. That is a basic pocket. Male snap buttons here for attaching your 6 mag bandolier. On the main pocket, you've got compression straps now. With those, so you'd be cinching it down even tighter once you got it zipped up. Main pouch, just your typical, got rings for securing radio. We got plastic stiffener, foam, your jump straps, and then this is the tag that I was talking about. See, all 3 of mine have this same tag. It's that style 4095. I have seen tags where it is listed again as an actual MOLLE 2 assault pack, and I'll put a picture of that up. So this revision of the assault pack is what the military continued with for future camouflage designs, which, as you can see here, the 3-color desert one, this one's fully loaded, so you'll have to excuse, and that's obviously not a part of it, that's just attached at the moment, but use these into all the next series of MOLLE 2 adaptations. And then they took it into the digital ones as well. I do not have an example of that, and I'll grab my next example, and it also shows the versatility of these packs. But here you can see that they continued it into the multicam and the scorpion camo of the assault pack. Yeah, it's the same basic design, but I will say that this became unusable again. Whereas again, down here on almost all of them I've seen, not all of them, but almost all, it's actually usable on these. These, they closed that gap again and made it borderline unusable. But you can see where I've attached using the MOLLE system. Again, that's the point of this system, is to be versatile like that, so you can attach all the different pouches like that and make it a much better pack if you have to go solo with it. But all right, and now it's time for the typical oddball in my videos. So according to the tag on this one, this is a MOLLE Pack Assault, and there's no NSN listed on this. It's obviously M81 camouflage. We got a US stamp on there. But if we look at the build of this assault pack, it shows more resemblance to some of the patrol packs. So if we take a look at the back, you can see what I'm talking about. Notice it's got the patrol pack style attachment of the straps in the back. The width adjustment on the rings. You've got your length adjustment, sternum strap, ID card pouches at the bottom, like the MOLLE 2. your Fastex and permanent stitch there at the bottom. No waist strap. Let's see up here at the top. We've got antenna hydration port on both sides. We got the same style of folded and stitched carry handle. We've got the male and female attachment up here. Got just the female down at the bottom. We've got the webbing like the patrol pack. There's no compression straps. And just to point those straps out again, if you look at them, you can see how they've got that curve to it. That is more significant than the patrol pack curve. It's actually more curved like the assault pack, but these are obviously thicker than the assault packs are. And again, they're not attached the same way. They don't have that sleeve to slip them in when you take them off. Got drain grommets, webbing on the bottom. Now your front pocket is a little bit different though. You got Fastex, a zipper, and a barrel lock. Seems kind of counterintuitive to me to have a barrel lock on something that's got a zipper right above it, but whatever. I guess maybe if you wanted the zipper open, you could cinch it down. I don't know. But let's see this webbing up here. It's borderline usable. There's definitely not much gap there though, so kind of like the other patrol packs, it's probably kind of pointless. Okay, we got the pouches opened up, and just to start, this front pouch, it is huge. Like, there is a lot of space with this front pouch. It seems way bigger than both the patrol and the assault pack. You can see here that it's got the inside pouch, securement of hook and loop. We've got the male snap buttons for your 6-mag bandolier to go in there. Again, I'm not real sure why you would have that, but it's there. We got the main pouch. It's just like the others. We got your ring for attaching the radio. We got stiffener. We got foam pad. Way down in there, there are jump straps. Again, forgive my lighting. There you can see it. And here is the tag. Again, there is no NSN number on this. And I've only seen one other pack with this tag and this build, and it was on eBay. So I have not seen many of these around. I have no idea what they are, if they're like a prototype, because it seems like it's a hybrid. It's got features of the patrol pack, and then it's got some of the features of the assault pack. So it's almost like these were issued as prototypes prior to the assault pack being finalized design-wise. I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know if any of you have one of these specific packs. Again, they seem to be very rare. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. But anyways, that's all I have for you. So thanks for watching.